Moving on to the bike rack program from the Houston Health Department.
Hello, my name is Deborah Maxwell, and I'm a health planner with the Houston Health Department, and I'm the lead over the Houston Bike Rack program. And I just want to say thank you all to the Bicycle Advisory Committee for allowing me to come and speak on behalf of the Houston Health Department about this beneficial program. There we go. So now that I know where to point the clicker, I'm going to just give you a brief overview of some of the key components to the program. So the overview, the background, how to apply. I will also talk about one of the key projects that we did this past summer to really engage youth around built environment and active living, and then also talk about some of the next steps about our program. Okay, so I think I might have slipped the slide, I'm sorry. Okay, so first I will go over a brief overview of the program. So as many of you may already be aware of, the Bike Rack program is a bike rack distribution program that focuses on donating and delivering free bike racks to local businesses and nonprofit organizations within the city of Houston. The purpose of this program is to really try to engage the citizens of Houston around physical activity and promoting physical activity. We also want to support bicycle networks and infrastructure related to biking and also, of course, pedestrian walkways as well. We also want to increase opportunities for active transportation and really respond to some of the community needs assessments and that have been reported showing communities need more additional bike parking. This is all done by increasing the number of end-of-trip facilities, aka bike racks. And we do this through our bike rack application. We really depend on a lot of community engagement as well and a lot of key partnerships and collaborations. Okay, so this next slide just provides a little bit of background. The program was initially launched in the spring of 2017. Some key partners that allowed this collaboration to happen was the Houston Health Department, the Go Healthy Houston Task Force, the Houston Public Works and Engineering Department, and also the Planning and Development Department. The program was also designed to support the vision, objectives, and strategies identified in the Houston-Galveston Area Council 2040 Regional Pedestrian and Bicycle Plan, and also the Houston Bike Plan. Even though the program is open to all agencies across Houston, we really try to target communities that have high rates of chronic diseases and that are really in demand of bike parking. Okay, so who's eligible to apply for this program? Any location within the city of Houston limits, so that's a lot of different places. Eligible applicants include businesses and work sites, civic associations, community-based organizations, schools, and management districts. So the two types of models that we have available for application are the single U-rack and also the wave bike rack. And so this is just a little information listed about the two different bike racks and how many bikes they actually hold. Okay, so just a quick overview how to apply. Applicants, all they have to do is go online, and the website's provided here, www.gohealthyhouston.org/HBR, and you're able to fill out the online application. It's about 10 required questions, takes about 6 minutes. So after you complete the application, then the applicant will receive an approval notice via email, and then they will complete the letter of agreement, which is one form, and the delivery form as well. So it's a total of 2 forms. Once approved, the bike racks will be delivered to the different applicants' locations. Okay, so this whole process takes, from application to delivery, takes about 1 to 3 weeks. And then after delivery, the only main requirement is that we do a follow-up survey just to make sure that the bike racks are having an impact on the business and kind of be able to gauge that impact. Okay, so we have a lot of different resources available for applicants on the Go Healthy Houston website, which can help with understanding some of the different bike parking ordinances in the city of Houston, and also about installation and how to install. Okay, so one of the best parts about the program is that the bike racks and deliveries free. So the Houston Bike Rack program will coordinate the delivery of the racks and the approval, and the only thing that applicants will have to be responsible for is installation. Okay, so this is just a quick summary. This is what our flyer looks like, and it's also available on our website to download if any agencies want to share the bike rack on their websites potentially, or kind of push this information out. So it just gives a brief overview of what I've already discussed. Okay, so now I'm going to switch gears a little bit and talk about one of the key projects that we conducted this past summer. This project was related to increasing bike parking and identifying areas within the city of Houston that are in need of bike parking, particularly in the public right-of-way. So some of the key project goals was to identify locations, of course, in need of bike parking, utilize community assessment data to identify locations. So a lot of the different complete communities reports and needs assessments that's been done in Houston, we pulled directly from that to determine what sites are in the most need of bike parking. And we also wanted to engage the community and youth around this topic and potentially expose youth to topics that maybe they didn't really understand before or was aware of before. Some of the key activities for this bike rack program project was that we hosted an educational workshop and hosted 6 bike parking audits. And the key participants in the workshop was youth that were at the Houston Health Department during the internship program. Some key partnerships that were really essential in allowing this summer project to function was the Houston Health Department, Bureau of Youth and Adolescent Health, the Planning and Development Department, Public Works, also Bike Houston, and then we also worked a lot with the Houston-Galveston Area Council to provide a lot of expertise on how to introduce this topic to youth that may not have heard about it before. Okay, so on I'm fast forwarding. On July 9th, 2018, we had about 35 student interns from the health department attend this 4-hour workshop. And some of the workshop objectives were to learn about how access to biking facilities can really impact their different communities, to get the youth involved in the planning and the future of their community, and to really empower them to be able to have a voice related to this topic. We also wanted them to kind of explore and learn ways to identify areas for safe bike parking, and that was what they will be doing in the audits to follow. We also wanted to teach them about how a bicycle-friendly environment is created and some of the key factors, and also help them build and prepare for their future as well. Okay, so this is what the audits look like. We did 6 different community audits. We went to Gulfton, near Northside, 3rd Ward, 2nd Ward, Acres Home, and also Sunnyside. We spent about 2 hours in the field just using the data from the different community assessments to figure out, okay, what would be some good areas based on the community's feedback where bike racks can be installed. So the students attended the audit. We also had some health department staff and also a few community members that also attended the audits as well. During the audits, we collected a variety amount of data related to sidewalk width, photos of the different sites, and just different information that can then help Public Works on the back end when they're trying to see if the different locations are applicable to install bike racks. Okay, so some of the key outcomes to the bike rack project is that the students identified 34 private property locations and 19 right-of-way locations. They also started to identify places that currently have bike racks. So just really trying to get us a feel of where the current community assets are. Some next steps related to this project is to continue to add some additional right-of-way locations that may have been missed in the field due to limited time in the hot July heat. And then also do some follow-up and engagement with some of the identified businesses that the students did mention. And then also submit the data to the Planning and Development Department and the Houston Public Works Department to start to go do some analysis and approval of the different sites. Installation will be in the spring of 2019 for the sites that are approved, and then we also make sure to share those lessons learned in those results. Okay, so future direction and next steps for the Houston Bike Rack program include continuing to do community engagement and partnerships, continuing to do program evaluation and quality improvements. We're constantly trying to see how we can make the application process better and more easier and accessible to our applicants. We also want to continue to share these results with the community and support the HGAC's regional plan and the Mayor's Complete Community Initiatives and all the great things that are going around in Houston related to biking and built environment and active living. One of the key components to our project is promotion, so we're continually trying to push the word out When it was first launched, it started as a pilot in near Northside, and so there's a lot of momentum. And then with Harvey and everything that's happened, we're trying to kind of push the message that so businesses can know that this program is available to them. And so we're definitely grateful for any assistance with that, and definitely grateful to the partners and the agencies that are here today that have been essential in starting this program and providing us with the expertise and the technical assistance needed to launch this type of program. Okay, so just thank you for your time today. I appreciate you all inviting me here, and if you have any questions, I'm here to assist you.
I have a question.
Yes.
Who was your contact for the Near Northside initiative?
For the original pilot?
I'm sorry?
I'm sorry, for the original pilot, or
No,
just our contact that we're working with currently?
Yeah, I guess the contact you're working with right now.
Currently, we're working with Avenue CDC, particularly to engage schools. We've worked with Cynthia. I'm sorry, I can't recall her last name, and then Sophia, and a lot of people from Avenue CDC.
Okay, yeah, right, I know them. And then when you get the results, like, where do you guys post them, or where will you post the results?
Yes, when we get the results and kind of be able to have like a summary report, we'll post it on our website, and then we also will, especially in Complete Community, share it to those newsletters and share it with our partners to be able to push that information out as well. And we're definitely open to any other newsletters or other ways that we can kind of share the message to the communities as well.
Mm-hmm. All right, and also I was just speaking with Avenue earlier today about the application, and you guys mentioned that there were some complications, and you made the application simpler.
Yes. So there were originally, when the application was designed, we did get a lot of feedback from the communities and from the different departments on how best to design it, and then just with actual implementation, we've seen some of the areas where maybe community members didn't understand some of the transportation terminology. So we tried to simplify that. We took a few questions off. We took some of the requirements off related to like providing photos and the exact XY coordinates, particularly for the private installations. Now the public right-of-way installations require a little more technical data. So we kind of are focusing more on those private applications, and we simplified the application to reflect that.
That's good. Okay. Thank you.
Yes, thank you for your questions.
Just one kudos I want to give. I know that I was at we brought this up at, I think, the education subcommittee meeting, but I was at a super neighborhood meeting where one of the representatives from the health department presented this and then handed out the revised flyer that you're speaking of. And so I just took some and uploaded it and made copies and started sending it to groups. But one of the groups actually applied, and it was a faith-based organization that applied as a CBO. But they said it was super easy. They did it in about 10 minutes, and they've already been approved, and so they're working on getting the installation. So just want to put it out there that is possible, and you guys are very good at getting back to groups, and I hope more groups apply.
Thank you. I really appreciate that feedback. Thank you.
I think one more question is, like, you said the racks are free, but I was wondering if there any chance that you might have any contacts for installation that would help with that? Or maybe someone from here, probably.
So we don't personally work a lot with the technical piece related to installations. We do provide guides online, but we're definitely open and hope that our partners are able to kind of share that information, because unfortunately we're not able to provide a lot of that consultation.
I have two questions. Is it rolling applications, so people can enroll any time of the year for as long as we've got access to bike racks?
Yes, ma'am. So it's an open application, and it's available until supplies last. So please apply.
Do we know how many supplies we have?
We have a little less than 200 bike racks left, so we still have a lot, and we know that there's definitely a need for it. So
okay, and in the audited spaces that you've been kind of pushing out, is there some place where a team or a community could self-audit before they apply? So are there metrics? You said that you're measuring sidewalks and adjacent businesses. Is that information posted someplace?
We definitely can make it available. Right now we hadn't released like a final report. We just gave summary reports. But if it's definitely a resource and the communities feel like it would be beneficial and helpful for them, we definitely can post it on our website as well.
I think when we're talking about safety in these ways, folks haven't experienced it before, so they don't really know. And sometimes that idea of like, well, is this for you, helps to prompt conversations where we hadn't necessarily thought that we were it was accessible to us. And one other thing, so in the sites that have been identified, are they being coordinated with existing infrastructure? So we've got Build 50, we've got other projects. Is you all's stamp of approval for sites in any type of alignment? Are we measuring that yet?
When we planned to do the audits, we made sure to target communities and the different the routes related to like accessible bike lanes or future bike lanes. So we did try to use that information to really drive our planning. We even included information about metro stops and about key businesses in the area. And so we definitely tried to use that. That way, whenever we did install the different sites, they would be in areas where they actually are beneficial, and including the future things to come.
Fantastic. And please continue to let us know how we can help.
Great. I definitely appreciate it. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments?
I do have a comment.
Yeah.
Well, I would just say thank you for coming out and speaking with us, Deborah. We were just talking about this last night with one of my planner colleagues, and we were trying to figure out the details. I didn't want you to come talk to us today. So it was very timely. I will say that back in July, I think it was, that I did see a group of young people in vests and clipboards at my CVS on my way home. And you see that, you know, you got to stop and see what's going on. So I personally can verify they were out there on hot summer days figuring out where to do these bike rides. Thank you very much. And one of my questions is, for the audits that y'all did and are continuing to do, who will be doing those installations? Are those recommendations to the private landowners, property owners, or are those some in the public right-of-way? Do y'all know who are going to install your audit?
So two different. So we identified the private locations, and so those will be ultimately up to those private business owners to install. And so we will try to engage them to see if they're willing to apply for bike racks and kind of share with them some of the information that we gained on maybe some best places on their property to install. As far as the right-of-way sites identified, we will definitely be working with Public Works to see, and then also the planning department to see if any of those sites are great sites to actually install bike racks, and try to get some guidance with that as well. So Public Works would do the installation for that, pending.
I have one more question.
Yes.
So you have one or two bike rack and then a 7 bike rack. What are the chances of probably like getting the covered racks, like for safe, like protecting your property type of racks?
So currently, based on the funding we had, we only purchased the U rack and the Wave rack. But definitely, if any businesses are potentially have those types of covered racks available or are willing to purchase and donate it, we can possibly set up something that way. But currently, we just have those 2 racks in our stock. Okay, thank you all again. I appreciate it.